wonderful souls. As we know, for the long time, no coincidences in our life. And no coincidence that exactly so many souls are at the same spot at this time. And this is the most important day in the year, the summer solstice. The day when the sun rays are the strongest and our mother planet the healthiest. My today's topic is cosmic love. I named this topic several months ago. And then, or today, I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I had a question from the person a few days ago. What cosmic love has to do with the Bosnian pyramids? Well, I hope that in 45 minutes or so, I will try to prove my case. They have everything to do with the Bosnian pyramids. Tonight I will be talking about two realms, two planes. One is our planetary, and the other one is the cosmic. Love. On the planetary plane. Number one, love is a romantic relationship between two partners. In my time, it was exclusively male and female. Things change. But I will stick to the old school. Of course, different forms of love. Also, love between mother, father, and children. Love between grandparents and grandchildren. Love between sisters, brothers, best friends. But love between partners, very intensive, very powerful. And it goes on several different levels. That's our planetary love. During our physical life experience. And the cosmic love, it's much more intensive, powerful, and eternal. Almost forever. It goes beyond the physical reality. It goes beyond the space and the time. It goes beyond this particular planet. And it extends from the previous planets that we were on, future ones, galaxies that are waiting for us, and even different universes. The cosmic love. In order to explain it, we need to go down to this planet and see what our being consists of. On a physical aspect, we are actually very, very complex. We do have our physical body, flesh, bones, blood. We have our brain, which generates our intellectual body. For some, it's rather simple. Brain controls all our activities. And brain is based on neurons. Because neurons transmits and receive information. They are going to the brain and from the brain. But is our brain here in the skull the only one that we have? How many times we heard and even advised others? Don't think with your brain, think with your heart. Don't make decisions major in your life about the job, about the marriage, about the kids, based on your ratio, but based on what your heart tells you. And indeed, the medical doctors did figure out that the second largest quantity of neurons, the brain cells, are in the heart. This is our second brain. And this is not all. The third brain is our stomach, where all of our organs are located, where we process drink, food, even stress, where we release the toxins and poisons. The third largest quantity of neurons are in our stomach. 3 brains is what we have. And we realize that with the power of the pyramid energy. We have noticed that when people go into the tunnels, they are exposed to the pyramid energies. They affect our health, our physical aspect, our mental aspect. Years ago, we had a lady from Herzegovina. She had a huge tumor in her abdomen, in her stomach. She was from one little village. And like it goes in the small villages, people do not go to the doctors until they have great pains in their body. So she went to the doctor, did CT, and she was told the tumor was so big, putting a pressure on her organs, that it was too late for the surgery. She was losing her appetites, she couldn't sleep because of the pain, losing the weight. But checking on internet, is there any alternative way to heal herself? And she found us, the Ravne tunnels. She came here. First 2 times I never saw her, I wasn't here. I saw her only the 3rd time. As we have measured in the last 17-18 years, in the tunnel we have a combination of 9 energy properties. The first 5 is the absence of all harmful radiations. Cosmic radiations, they are enemy to our body. Underground natural radioactivity, another enemy. Our body cells fight those enemies 24 hours a day. Geopathogenic radiations coming from underground water streams, Hartmann intersections, Scurry or Schneider intersections, the signal for the mobile phones, 3G, 4G, 5G. Number 5, the signal for the Wi-Fi, internet. Those 5 harmful radiations are absent in the tunnels. So for the first time in our life, when we get inside, no enemies to our body. Our body cells can start doing their job. They can start fixing our problems. They can start the regeneration process. When we add 4 more energy properties, number 6, the best electromagnetic field, 28 kilohertz, the best ultrasound frequency, 28 kilohertz, the frequency of the levitation, number 8, extremely low frequency of 7.83 Hz, original Schumann resonance, which brings us back to the balance, and number 9, high concentration of negative ions. Those 9 elements create the safest, the healthiest place under the ground on this planet. So back to Our Lady. Her name was Ljiljana, from Herzegovina, little village. The first time she came to the Ravne tunnels, she stayed for a weekend, 3 days. She was getting inside, and after 3 days, her left leg was swallowed so much it was 3 times bigger than when she came here. She went back home. For 3 days, she was releasing the liquids from her body. After 3 days, the pain was gone. Why pain? When you have pain 24 hours a day, you cannot sleep, you cannot think, and that's the worst thing. Encouraged with this experience, she came back 2 weeks later. She spent another weekend here in Visoko, going to the tunnels 2 times a day. After that weekend, when she came home, the appetite came back. She started eating, she started drinking. Why? Because she was getting the energy back. She was getting the weight back. When she came for the 3rd time, I met her. I parked by the tunnel, and one woman was approaching me, and she came to me, and she started kissing my hand. I said, hey, please do not kiss my hand. Who are you? And she explained me. The 3rd time when she came, the faith in life came back to her. You know, when you are sick and you are told that you have mere few months of living, you lose the faith in the life. So, when I was thinking about her case, it seemed to me that there was an internal supercomputer which decides the priorities when it comes to our health. In her case, priority number 1 was to lose the pain. Pain was the worst. The second one, she was getting her energy back through the food. And number 3, now she was looking very positive to the life again. That was not the ratio, the brain here in the skull. That was not the second brain, the one over here in our heart. That was the 3rd brain, the one in the stomach, who takes care of our health. Health, of course, is not just what's in the physical body. We have 7 energetical bodies also, 7 energy fields. Auric field being the first one, the most dense. When the illness starts, it does not start on the physical level. immediately. It starts somewhere in the 7th energy field, going like a worm towards our physical body. When we feel the pain, it's already too late. It means that we have not prevented what could be prevented if we were able to see our energy fields. It seems that the ancients, who did not have computers, had better understanding of our next aspect, and that would be energy aspect. Physical body and physical aspect, attached intellectual body, mind, intellectual aspect, energy aspect. And the next one is the emotional aspect. We have some very important emotions. For example, when we are sad, somebody is lost, we lose somebody, we are very sad. It's very intensive and unpleasant feelings. Or when we are violent, when we are jealous, also very intensive and unpleasant feelings. The feelings of happiness, fulfilling emotion. But it seems that on our physical level, the most powerful is feeling of love, loving somebody, and nothing can be compared to that feeling. And that is our physical level, our planetary aspect. Humans are so complex, and this was just the beginning of the story. The second entity, besides the physical and all aspects, energy, emotional, intellectual, we have our soul. Our soul coexists with our body through this life experience. Our soul does not have physical senses. 5 of them we do have. And being in the body, right here, through the physical senses, it can feel, it can experience different emotions and different experiences. And it seems that the soul has been around almost forever. Forever is only divine energy of God. But the souls came to existence long time ago, going through so many experiences, and now having a contract before we came into existence, before our life. In all our cases, we have those two entities together, physical and soul. After this experience, it seems that the soul will be on the way to some other experiences. For most of us, it will be back. Probably because of some lessons we have not learned. And back again and again. Until the time comes that we realize that this planet has such a rude and raw and low frequency that in order to further the spiritual progress, it would need to change the planet. It has been happened to us many times. Of course, there is a mechanism which prevents us to think about all those previous experiences, because we would have chaos in our head during this life experience. We often hear terms like twin souls or soul mate or soul family. Twin soul is the case when one soul divides and it goes to two different physical bodies. So when we meet that person, we know that we finally are whole, one with that person. Soulmate, two different souls into two different bodies, but so close. When we meet some persons for the first time in our life, they are so familiar and we feel that we have so much common ground, that we vibrate on the same frequency, that we finally recognized that soul, not person, soul, soul mate, so much in common with them over so many different life experiences on so many different cosmical bodies. And finally, soul family. Life between lives. The moment we leave our physical body, which is for one use. We got born, we live, and we die, transform. That very moment, our body is 21 grams less in weight. And that will be the weight, the mass of our soul. Time between lives, after the first experiences, going through the light, through the tunnel, trying to learn new stuff, is most of it the time with its soul family. What is the soul family? That's a cluster of souls, 50, 500, 20, like grapes. And they are on the mission to learn all the time. And then we realize that at least half of those souls from our soul family were at this planet at the same time when we were here. Persons who meant the most to us. When we see them and when we remember all our previous life experiences, our souls are so happy. And of course, we always have our favorite ones. We spend the time together, we whirl together, and that's a special form of the cosmic love. Love between souls, who's been there for eternity. And the third aspect of our being, the third entity, physical, soul. The third one is the spirit. That's a small, divine part in our body. That's literally part of divine energy, the energy of God. How many times we've heard and read, God is everywhere, around us and inside, in us. And literally, our physical body is the protection for our soul, and our soul is the protection for our spirit. Why the process of meditation, deep meditation, is so important? Because once we exclude the information from the outside world, we have opportunity to go deep into inner universe. And there we can start getting information from our soul. Since our soul is almost forever, imagine how much knowledge it has. If we go really deep enough for decades with the meditation, we can go to the next layer, and that would be our spirit. These are just obstacles that want to bring us back to the physical reality. But those black helicopters are irrelevant as long as we think that they have no importance. If we think that they are important, then yes, they will instill fear in our lives. So going really deep, we are capable of realizing the divine entity in our body. And this is where many Eastern holy persons realized that the life is actually suffering, that you need to go through those troublesome experiences and enable your soul to progress from one level into another one, and finally go back from where it all started, to the creational, omnipresent divine force, to God. And it seems that at the very beginning, when God was also omnipresent, but without no life in the universe, he or she decided to make this experience much more complex and much more interesting. He or she started creating planets, galaxies, universes, and different forms of life. And then started creating souls that they are going inhabiting different forms of life and getting more and more experience. And then at one point, with so much experiences and so many different beings, they will all go back to the source, back to the God, and imagine unlimited number of experiences, and they're all coming back to the ocean. And then after one universe, there is another one, which will last another 15 or 20 billion years, and another one, and another one. When we realize that on the level of our soul, then we would remove all the sources of our fears. On this planet, those who control majority of the resources, the corporate life, the media life, the education. They've been keeping us in the material world only for the longest time, because there they can influence us. There they can organize the life based on fear. Fear of losing the physical life, fear of losing physical, material stuff, and then all other fears. Losing house, the cars, the savings account. And we spend the life in fear. We don't argue with our bosses, with our professors, with our directors, with our managers, even with our wives. Why? Because we think if we show our real thoughts that we're going to lose those jobs, we're going to lose our mortgages, we won't be able to pay the loans, we're going to lose everything material. But this is the part of very high feelings. If we don't fear, if we are not afraid, if we vibrate high, then we can be really happy and fulfilled with what we have achieved in this life experience. If we fear a low vibration. In the real life, we are chemists or engineers or construction workers or archaeologists or scientists or politicians or journalists. And we can see the world around us that it is not right. Too much politics in every aspect of our life. And we are forced to tell what we don't really mean. We are forced, basically, to protect untruth and lies. Why? Because we are afraid of doing otherwise. What we do, we go against our personal integrity. And then we fail. We fail this opportunity that we had in our life. Those tests are daily facing us. In the last 3-4 years, we were able to see how they've been trying to force us to lose all our freedoms. Freedom of work, expression, freedom of getting organized, freedom of movement, and unfortunately the majority of the people failed the test. At one point, when we go through the lists of what we achieved or not in our life, and that will be when our soul is free, we will realize how many tests we failed and why we had to go back and back. So, the spiritual path is not easy. Sometimes we have to choose between bad and worse. It's not easy. But if we think long term, if we know that we kept our personal integrity, we will be fulfilled. And nobody really cannot touch us. So we see how even the daily work that we have, in our case, archaeology, we are looking for the truth, historical truth. It hasn't been easy, but we have kept our position and we have continued on this path. No matter that in the real life, the cultural establishment, archaeologists, historians, politicians, media, they were all against us. But by staying in this business. We've shown that we take care of our spiritual growth, we take care of the science which is behind us, and we are giving the perfect example to the others. The message is, if you have the noble goals in front of you and scientific arguments, you follow your dreams, because they are taking you to the highest vibration in this life. So, even during this physical life, in your older age, you turn yourself, you can be happy. Nothing is ideal, nothing is perfect. We will realize that when we really see the list of things, what we have done or have not done in our life. But as long as we are happy with our choices, we will grow spiritually. And then, when we go back to our soul family, and they realize that our vibrations stayed high, they will be greeting us. They will be very happy. And that happiness on the cosmic level is conditioned for the cosmic love. Cosmic love is unconditional. Cosmic love is the purest. The time will come when we will be ready to finish our life experiences here. No matter what we do, we have to keep the high standard, not from those set up by the society. We have to have our own standards. And we will feel that we are doing right. We will feel that we will be rewarded. When you meet your soulmate, when you meet your soul family. Before I was saying our project was about the archaeology, the largest archaeological discovery. And then we have expanded that to interdisciplinary scientific project. Then we realized we have energy aspect. Very specific frequencies. Frequency of the energy transportation, 28 kilohertz. The healing frequencies. The spiritual frequencies. We went into another aspect, the spirituality, not the religion. Spirituality, very close to the faith. When you're on your knees and you communicate with the divine, with the God directly, that's the deepest form of the meditation. With this beautiful park, we show that the man, the team, the vision, enthusiasm can triumph. And you are the living proof. You came from so many different countries. And we here, our team, the Foundation's team, is the most blessed team in the world. Every day we see people who come, who are happy here. We show that the joy is a very important element of our lives. Again, we are showing with an example. Imagine 50 or hundreds of similar examples in different fields, in different countries, Serbia, or Croatia, or Turkey, or Germany, or France, or UK, or US. That we realize that with our power, we change the world. and that we've learned from the other dimension, the cosmical dimension, why we are originally here. Therefore, Martha, and she's sleeping again, my answer to question what the cosmic love has to do with the Bosnian pyramids, it has everything to do with it. It is about our lives, it is about our mission, it is about our vibrations. And Tesla behind us, who had his individuality the moment he came to our park 3 months back, is teaching us everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. Energy. We are nothing but dense energy. We are nothing but very specific frequencies. And every one of us having its own energy signature. And finally, we are nothing but the vibration. Vibration. Everything is alive. Our planet is alive with its own vibration. The human kingdom, we are alive. Think about the state of this civilization, where we are heading, and how we can change it for the better. Animal kingdom is alive. Plant kingdom is alive. The mineral kingdom is alive. Every stone we have here near water flow has its own vibration and energy. Most of them are from Ravne and Ravne 3 tunnels. Good energy being exposed to the pyramids for thousands of years, and this energy spreading in the park. The water stream that we can hear has its own energy, its own memory. And you, by coming here, leaving your energy print, your energy signature, you left your energy, your wishes, your good intentions, and vice versa. The spark and energy of thousands of other physical entities and human souls made your life richer. The cosmic love is, as you've heard now, something that we can aim to in our life. We have something in front of us. We have something to hope for. The cosmic love is also unconditional respect to every being from every kingdom, human, animal, plant, mineral. Let's think about where we are right now and how we can improve. And yes, it can be in all of our cases, how we can improve the remaining time in this physical body. Thank you very much.